Hello ladies, and welcome to the channel. Beware the fury of a patient woman. John Dryden. The Sigma female is a force you will never see coming, and by the time you realize it, you've already lost the battle. Unlike others who wear their emotions on their sleeves or seek validation from the crowd, she moves in silence, outthinking, outlasting, and outwitting those who dare to challenge her. This is the woman who refuses to play by society's rules, whose strength lies in her unshakable independence and ability to rise above the noise. In a world where bullying often preys on weakness, the Sigma female flips the narrative. She's not just resilient, she's untouchable. Recent psychological studies have shown that individuals who exhibit Sigma traits are among the most difficult to manipulate, thanks to their deep self-awareness and emotional fortitude. So if you think you can break her, intimidate her, or pull her into the fray, think again. Here's why trying to bully a Sigma female is not only futile but a grave mistake you'll regret long after she's walked away unscathed. Number 1. Her silence is more deadly than your words. Her silence is more dangerous than anything you can say or do to her. It's not the kind of silence that stems from fear or weakness. It's the silence of someone who's already won. When you throw insults or try to undermine her, she doesn't react because, in her mind, your words are irrelevant. She doesn't need to prove herself to you, and that alone strips you of the power you think you have. The silence becomes unsettling because it's not what you expect. You're waiting for her to retaliate, to give you something you can latch onto, but she doesn't. Instead, her lack of response forces you to confront the hollowness of your own actions. What makes this silence so dangerous is that it gives her control. While you're trying to provoke her, she's already moved beyond the moment, observing and understanding more than you realize. It frustrates you because it feels like she's playing a different game, a game you can't win. Her quiet confidence speaks louder than any insult ever could. It tells you that she doesn't need to engage with you, that your attempts to tear her down are beneath her, and in that moment you start questioning yourself. Her silence leaves you exposed. The more you try to push, the more obvious it becomes that you're the one seeking validation. She doesn't need to raise her voice or argue. She's already won the moment by choosing not to engage. It's a level of psychological warfare that's subtle but incredibly effective. In the end, you're left grappling with your own insecurity, realizing that the silence you thought was weakness is actually her greatest strength. Number 2. She observes, then dismantles you systematically. She doesn't rush into anything. While you're busy trying to get under her skin, she's observing everything. Your body language, the tone of your voice, the way you choose your words. She's not reacting immediately because she's studying you, like a puzzle she's already starting to solve. Every insult, every slight, she files away in her mind, piecing together exactly who you are, what your weaknesses are, and how you think. It's not that she doesn't notice your attempts to bully her. She's noticing. The thing is, she won't respond right away, and that's what makes her so dangerous. She's patient, calculating, and precise. While others might snap back in the heat of the moment, she waits until the time is right. By the time she does make her move, it's not loud or obvious. It's subtle, systematic, and devastating. She dissects you slowly, finding the perfect moment to expose your vulnerabilities, in a way that leaves you wondering how she managed to get so deep under your skin without you even realizing it. You see, a Sigma female doesn't just fight back, she dismantles. When she finally responds, it's not emotional, it's rational, planned, and brutally effective. She knows exactly where to hit and how hard, making sure her actions cut much deeper than anything you threw at her. And the most unsettling part, she never loses her calm. While you were throwing punches, she was gathering information, and now you're left scrambling, unable to figure out how she got the upper hand. Her ability to systematically take apart your attempts to bully her with such precision and control leaves you vulnerable and exposed in a way you never anticipated. Number 3. She masters the art of outlasting. She knows how to outlast. The Sigma female isn't the type to be rattled by temporary discomfort or short-lived pressure. Bullying at its core relies on breaking someone down over time, wearing them out emotionally or mentally. But with her, this tactic is doomed from the start. She's built for endurance, mentally tough, emotionally grounded, and not easily fazed by the things that would exhaust others. You might come at her with wave after wave of insults or attacks, but each time she remains steady, unmoved. She knows that most people, including bullies, eventually lose steam, and when you do, she'll still be standing. The key to her resilience is that she doesn't react to every little thing. She picks her battles, and when she chooses not to engage, it's not because she's weak, it's because she knows that time is on her side. She understands that most people can't maintain their hostility forever, and she's willing to wait until you burn out. What makes her even more formidable is that while you're exhausting yourself trying to tear her down, she's only growing stronger, more centered, more focused. Her strength lies in her ability to remain calm in the storm. She doesn't let frustration cloud her judgment, and she doesn't waste energy on things that don't matter. When it comes to bullying, her strategy is simple: outlast. While others may crumble under constant pressure, she absorbs it, letting it bounce off her, waiting for the moment when your efforts collapse under their own weight. You may think you're winning in the beginning, but the truth is, she's just letting you tire yourself out. And by the time you realize she's still standing strong, it's already too late. Number 4. She's always 3 steps ahead. She's always 3 steps ahead, and that's what makes her so difficult to corner. While you're focused on the here and now, the Sigma female is already thinking about what's coming next. She's not impulsive, she's strategic. She anticipates moves before they happen, sees patterns in your behavior, and plans accordingly. This foresight allows her to stay ahead of any attempts to undermine or bully her. You might think you're gaining ground, but by the time you make your move, she's already prepared for it, and often she's already set a trap for you. Her ability to stay ahead isn't just instinctive, it's deliberate. She spends time observing and learning from the people around her, especially those who try to bring her down. She's not caught off guard because she's always assessing the situation from different angles, finding ways to stay one step ahead in the game. This makes her incredibly hard to manipulate or control. The moment you think you figured her out, she shifts, changing her approach in a way you didn't see coming. What makes this even more frustrating for anyone who tries to bully her is that her actions are so subtle, you don't even realize you're being outmaneuvered until it's too late. By then, you're the one who's been caught in your own game. She plays the long game, watching as you make mistake after mistake, confident in her ability to stay ahead. Her intelligence, combined with her patience, means that every move you make is something she's already considered and planned for. In the end, it's not just that she's smart, it's that she's always thinking ahead, staying a few steps in front of you, leaving you scrambling to catch up while she's already moved on to the next level. Number 5. She's mentally unbreakable. You can't crack her. You can't break her because she's mentally unbreakable. A Sigma female has an inner strength that's been forged by years of self-reliance and facing challenges head-on. She's built a fortress in her mind that's nearly impossible to penetrate. What makes her different is that her confidence and self-worth aren't tied to anyone else's approval. You can throw insults, try to humiliate her, or attempt to make her feel small, but none of it sticks. She's grounded in who she is, and your efforts to crack her are like throwing pebbles at a wall of steel. When you try to manipulate her emotions, it's like trying to move a mountain. She doesn't get easily rattled, and she never gives you the satisfaction of seeing her sweat. She's mastered control over her emotions, not in a cold or detached way, but in a way that shows she knows her worth and refuses to let anyone dictate how she should feel. Every attempt to break her down is met with the same calm, composed response, leaving you frustrated because it seems like nothing is working. What really sets her apart is her ability to turn the tables on you without even trying. The more you push, the more she shows you just how unbreakable she really is. It's not that she's indifferent, it's that she's developed such a strong mental foundation that no one can shake her. And while you're exhausting yourself trying to find her weak points, she's standing firm, watching as you tire yourself out. In the end, her mental resilience leaves you feeling powerless. She won't give you the reaction you're looking for, because she's too strong to let you control her emotions. She remains steady, and that's what makes her truly untouchable. Number 6. Your group tactics won't intimidate her. Your group tactics won't intimidate her. A Sigma female doesn't rely on anyone to feel strong, and that's exactly why a group coming after her will fail. While bullies often find comfort and power in numbers, thinking they can overpower her through collective force, she stands apart, alone, but never lonely. She's independent by nature, and that independence is her shield. When a group tries to corner her, it doesn't faze her because she doesn't need the approval or support of others to know her worth. She's never needed a crowd, so the threat of one means nothing to her. The thing is, group tactics rely on overwhelming someone, making them feel isolated and outnumbered. But that's where the Sigma female thrives. She's most comfortable on her own, unbothered by the noise around her. When a group attacks, they expect fear or submission, but all they get from her is calm defiance. She knows the crowd is only as strong as its weakest member, and she can see the cracks in their unity before they even do. She knows that their strength is shallow, dependent on each other, while her strength comes from within, making her far more resilient. Her ability to face down a group without flinching is rooted in her unwavering self-confidence. She doesn't care if 5 people or 50 people are trying to bring her down because none of their opinions matter to her. Her self-worth isn't tied to others, so their collective voice doesn't have the power they think it does. While they gang up on her, hoping to intimidate, she remains steady, often leaving them confused as to why they can't shake her. Their strength in numbers crumbles when they realize they're up against someone who simply doesn't care about their approval or disapproval. Number 7, she will rise stronger and you will stay the same. Every time you try to break her, she comes back stronger. This is the essence of a Sigma female. You may think your bullying will wear her down, but what you don't realize is that every attempt only builds her resilience. While most people might crumble under repeated attacks, she takes those moments and uses them as fuel. Your insults, your slights, your attempts to tear her down, they don't diminish her. They harden her resolve. She learns from each experience, grows tougher, and becomes even more immune to your tactics. The difference between her and those who stay the same is that she evolves. Every time she faces adversity, she uses it to better herself. She doesn't dwell on the pain or frustration. Instead, she transforms it into power. She knows that real strength comes from rising above, from proving to herself that no matter what anyone throws at her, she'll only get better, stronger, and smarter. Meanwhile, you're left in the same place, relying on the same old tactics, while she's already outgrown the situation. Your attacks have no lasting effect because she's not just surviving them. She's using them to become something greater. The harder you try to bring her down, the more she rises, until you're left wondering why nothing seems to work. She doesn't stay stuck in the same cycle of drama and conflict. She moves on, leaving you behind, stuck in the very cycle you created. You'll watch her rise above, more powerful than before, while you're left unchanged, still clinging to the methods that no longer have any impact on her. In the end, it's not just that she survives your attempts, it's that she thrives in ways you could never anticipate. Number 8. Your opinions are meaningless in her world. Your opinions are meaningless in her world, and that's what makes her so powerful. The Sigma female operates on her own terms, governed by her own standards of self-worth. She doesn't look to others for validation or approval, which is precisely why your attempts to insult or demean her fall flat. You might think that your words can shake her confidence, but they only highlight how irrelevant your opinions truly are. In her mind, your view of her is just that, view. It has no bearing on who she knows she is or what she believes in. This detachment from outside judgment gives her a unique strength. While many people may feel threatened or anxious when faced with criticism, she stands firm, unwavering in her sense of self. She's done the work to understand who she is and what she stands for. So when you hurl your opinions at her, they bounce off without leaving a mark. In fact, your attempts often reveal more about your insecurities than they do about her. You're seeking to undermine her, but in reality, it only makes you look weak and desperate. What's fascinating is how she uses this indifference to your opinions as a shield. It's not just that she ignores them. She actively chooses not to engage with your negativity. Instead of allowing it to consume her thoughts, she focuses on her goals, her values, and the people who truly matter to her. In her world, your words are simply background noise. She won't waste her energy on something that doesn't resonate with her truth. This refusal to be affected by your opinions not only makes her unshakable, but also leaves you feeling powerless, realizing that your attempts to control her narrative have utterly failed. Number 9. You're not ready for her counterattacks. You're not ready for her counterattacks, and that's where you'll truly stumble. While you're focused on trying to tear her down, she's quietly assessing the situation, preparing her response with an accuracy that leaves you reeling. The Sigma female has a knack for reading between the lines and seeing the hidden motives behind your actions. She knows that bullies often operate on the assumption that their targets are weak and defenseless, but she's anything but. Your underestimation of her makes you vulnerable, and by the time she decides to respond, you'll realize just how wrong you were. When she strikes back, it's not with anger or emotion, it's with precision and intent. She's a master of knowing exactly where to hit and how hard, and she does it in a way that often leaves you stunned. Instead of lashing out blindly, she carefully chooses her words and actions, exposing your insecurities and flaws without breaking a sweat. You might think you have the upper hand, but her counterattacks are so calculated that they leave you questioning everything about yourself. Suddenly, you're on the defensive, scrambling to keep up with the consequences of your actions. What makes her counterattacks so powerful is that they catch you off guard. You never see them coming because you've been so consumed with your own aggression that you fail to notice her quiet strength. While you were shouting, she was planning, and when she finally unleashes her response, it's like a punch to the gut. The tables turn and you're left bewildered, wondering how you miscalculated so completely. In that moment, you realize that trying to bully a Sigma female isn't just foolish, it's a recipe for your own downfall. Number 10. She can expose your insecurities without lifting a finger. She can expose your insecurities without lifting a finger, and that's what makes her truly remarkable. While you're busy trying to intimidate her with harsh words or mocking comments, she has a unique ability to see right through the facade you put up. The Sigma female has an innate understanding of human nature, allowing her to recognize the very vulnerabilities that you're trying to hide. She doesn't need to confront you aggressively. Her mere presence is enough to shine a light on your weaknesses. What makes this so powerful is that she does it effortlessly. You might find yourself sharing your insecurities without even realizing it, whether through your tone, body language, or the very words you choose. As you try to belittle her, she's quietly taking notes, not for revenge, but to understand the depth of your character. The more you push, the more she learns about what truly bothers you. In a way, your attempts to dominate her only serve to reveal your own flaws and fears. When the time comes, she can highlight those insecurities in such a subtle way that you won't even see it coming. A well-placed comment, a knowing look, or a simple silence can unearth everything you wish to keep buried. It's not about attacking you directly, it's about making you confront your own vulnerabilities, often leaving you feeling exposed and raw. In this way, she turns the tables without raising her voice or engaging in conflict. You're left grappling with the realization that, despite your attempts to undermine her, she's the one who holds the power. It's a stark reminder that while you sought to diminish her, she can effortlessly shine a spotlight on the very things you fear most, making you question your own strength. In the end, it's not just a victory for her, it's a humbling experience for you. In a world where bullying often masquerades as strength, the Sigma female emerges as a formidable force, proving time and again that true power lies not in aggression, but in resilience, intelligence, and self-awareness. Each attempt to belittle or undermine her only serves to reinforce her strength, turning your efforts into stepping stones for her growth. She navigates life with a calm assurance that intimidates those who thrive on chaos and confrontation, leaving them unprepared for her quiet but impactful responses. Her silence, strategic thinking, and unwavering self-confidence create an aura that's both intriguing and formidable. While you might believe that your numbers or harsh words can diminish her, the reality is that she stands apart, unbothered by the noise and chaos around her. Instead of falling prey to the typical patterns of bullying, she disarms her adversaries, exposing their insecurities while rising above the fray. Ultimately, the lesson is clear. Underestimating a Sigma female is a grave mistake. She has the uncanny ability to turn the tables, showcasing her mental fortitude and resilience at every turn. By the time you realize the futility of your tactics, she has already moved on, leaving you to grapple with your own weaknesses. In this intricate dance of power dynamics, she teaches us that true strength doesn't need to be loud. It simply needs to be unyielding. And in her unshakable presence, she becomes a living testament to the idea that in the end, the strongest person in the room is often the one who stands quietly, unafraid to be herself. If you enjoyed these insights into the Sigma female and want more thought-provoking content, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Join our community and stay updated on empowering topics that inspire growth and understanding. Hit that subscribe button and be part of the conversation. Thanks for watching and bye.